Hey guys! So for this week, I wanted to go into a little more detail about my refeed days since I have had quite a few of them in the last couple of weeks and just wanted to go over why I'm getting them, what's the purpose, and is it something that you may need to look into if you're going through maybe not necessarily a competition prep, but just a calorie deficit in general. Alright, so what is a refeed day? A refeed day is when you are temporarily increasing your calories, mostly through carbs. It's not a cheat day. A cheat day is just kind of not having any restriction at all, eating whatever you wanted, satisfy cravings, stuff like that. With the refeed, it is calculated. Like I said, you are getting a majority of your calories from additional carbohydrates. So why do a refeed day? So when you're in a calorie deficit, there are certain things that are happening in your body. Being in a calorie deficit lowers your hormone levels, increases hunger, makes you more lethargic during the day, and you can experience weight loss plateaus. After a certain point in dieting, sometimes it's really good for your body to just kind of take a break. And that's what a refeed day is supposed to do for you. It's just supposed to be a little break just for a day every week or every other week. Again, depending on you and what your goals are and how your body's reacting. Basically what happens is when there's a decrease in your hormones, it's telling your body that it's in a deficit. Your body will end up trying to find ways to prevent the weight loss. I said it before, your body wants to stay in a state of homeostasis. It doesn't like big change. So if it senses that, we're starting to lose weight, we don't want to lose weight once you reach a certain point, obviously, and it's going to start looking for ways to stop that from happening. And one of those hormones that begin to decrease is leptin. Leptin is produced by your fat cells, and it tells your body if you have an adequate amount of fat. And I've stated this before as well, your body doesn't necessarily need muscle to survive, but it needs fat. So if it senses that the fat stores aren't adequately supplied, it's going to start freaking out a bit, and it's going to want to do whatever it can to prevent any further fat loss. And that lower level is also signaling to the body that you're entering an unknown period of calorie deprivation. And this in turn sends signals for your body to start eating more, burn fewer calories. And this is what they called adaptive thermogenesis. And it's just a protective process of your body that alters your metabolism to increase energy intake and decrease energy output. This is a way to slow down weight loss. Other things that happen is the way your body starts burning calories. So you have your eat and your neat. And your eat is your exercise activity thermogenesis, and your neat is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Both of them have the potential of decreasing while in a deficit. So your eat is when you are doing physical activity like working out, and then your neat is just like the small movements, kind of like fidgeting and stuff like that. So when you're in a deficit, your body isn't going to want to burn as many calories, so you won't be as inclined to want to work out or work out as hard as you are capable of working out. And then also you may not move as much throughout the day. And this is just an evolutionary process that helped people survive during times of like famine and starvation. So the whole point behind a refeed day is to temporarily increase your leptin levels to kind of turn off those signals to stop weight loss. And the reason carbs are used is because carbs are actually the best macronutrient at increasing leptin. And the thought behind it is that that will hopefully prevent the adaptive thermogenesis from interfering with weight loss. Refeed days still are relatively new, scientifically speaking. There isn't a whole lot of research to either confirm or deny whether it works. Some benefits are obviously you're just getting a day to have a break from the diet. You get a moment to enjoy yourself. There is the main belief that it's going to temporarily raise leptin levels and help you get past plateaus. And that's why we're implementing it for me, because there was a time where I just wasn't losing any weight and I plateaued, and the second we started implementing refeed days, I started losing again. So it's definitely something that seems to be working for me, and it's nice to kind of get a little treat on the weekends, but there are cons that come with it. One of them being the lack of research in it, and it's very easy to go overboard. For some people, taking care of those cravings, even though it's not like a cheat day where you can just eat wherever you want. Like if I could do whatever I wanted, I would have gotten like donuts. We were trying to stay away from anything sweet. So obviously it's not going to cure all of my cravings, but it's still a nice reprieve. But for other people, while it may tend to lead them to going overboard, when you kind of get a taste of something that you've been deprived of, you may not want to stop. And that may be what happened to me last week when I got my refeed. I just didn't want to stop, and I wasn't fully satisfying my cravings either. I just happened to crave sweets a lot. I do have a big sweet tooth. And then there's also the fact that, it takes weeks to gain or to lose. Is one day compared to weeks really going to make just increasing the leptin levels for one day? Is that really going to make that much of a difference? And that kind of goes under the whole just lack of research. But as of right now, they seem to be working for me. That is why I have been given refeed days, and that's just kind of a little background on what they are, pros, some cons, and I really hope that cleared up or answered any questions that you may have been having on why I had refeed days. So with that being said, let's take a look at how my week 8 was for me. For the purposes of being fully transparent and honest during this process, I did just cheated on my diet. So what basically ended up happening was yesterday I did have a refeed. I came home from a friend's place. I didn't really feel like eating any of my food, but I knew I still had a few calories left that I needed to eat. And I was like, you know what? Maybe just there was some pizza in the fridge. Like, you know what? Get a few extra carbs in, fill your glycogen levels. It's fine. And so I ate the pizza, which I didn't have a problem with because I knew I had a lot of calories left from not eating. Like, there was like 3 other meals I needed to eat. I was so full from that refeed that I just wasn't in the mood for it. So it was like 2 quick pieces of pizza. But then I don't know what came over me, but just, I know I talked about it last week, but I just kind of been feeling kind of that middle meh feeling where I just kind of don't care anymore. I just want this to be more or less over. And I ended up eating two in total Kit Kats, one of the birthday cakes, one of the apple pie Kit Kats that I had gotten. And that was it. That's where I thought we were going to leave it as. This morning I woke up and I did have one of the key lime Power Crunch bars, which to me wasn't a cheat. I was able to easily do that. And then I had some protein oatmeal. Again, just had to take a couple stuff out, rearrange some stuff, was still able to hit my macros with those changes. Nothing wrong with that. But for some reason, when it came around to lunch, it's just, I just didn't care. I just didn't want to cook or prep or do anything. And I ended up eating another Power Crunch bar. Not that bad. Again, easily would have been able to come back from that because it didn't put me over in any macro. I think I just had to take out like my turkey burgers and that was it, and then it would have worked. But after that, I was just, I don't know. There's a cereal bar in the pantry that I ate. There was some leftover pastry that I brought back from my roommates from work that I was like, you know what, I don't want to keep passing up on stuff. I just want to eat it. I want to try it. I want to enjoy it. And then I end up eating what was left of that, and then I ate the other 2 Kit Kats, and that's where it stopped. From there, I then did eat my turkey burger and asparagus just to get something healthy in. Hopefully that is where it will end today. 8 weeks in, we're starting week 8. This is kind of what happened on my cut too, like week 9, I think it was. I started caving a bit, but I definitely think it's just this whole, like, I just don't want to do this anymore. I'm so sick of it type of thing. And, because I only have 5 more weeks of this. When it happens, it happens. Don't freak out. I can't let it consume me. I can't let it eat me up. I just need to accept that it happened, move on, and just keep going and just not let it happen again and not make it worse. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts. I'm gonna get a breakfast sandwich, just whatever. I don't care. I was like, no, we're not gonna fall into that trap. This stops here. You had a little diet break. Now you need to get back on track. So I just wanted to share that with you guys to know that I was not perfect, unfortunately, but hopefully that is the only break that I get during this. So I need to use this, and I've seen this before where people will break, but they use that as motivation to push the last few weeks. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it as motivation, push myself, and finish this strong. So I've been making really great progress, and I don't want to ruin it. Just wanted to put that out there. So I did have a little mishap yesterday where I did end up cheating during my prep, and you know what? I'm not upset about it. I'm not dwelling on it. I'm not freaking out about it. It happened. There's nothing I can do about it. At this point, I can't dwell on it and just make myself feel bad about doing it. My body probably very deprived of a lot of stuff right now, and it felt that it just needed a little break. Now, did I stop at just 1 thing, 2 thing? No, I did eat probably 4 like snack size things. I was so tempted to order food to go. I was so tempted to drive to the gas station and just get a bunch of stuff, but I stopped it at just eating whatever was in my house. And thankfully, I was smart enough to be like, I need to make sure that I don't have anything in my house. So yeah, if I had those cookies that I brought over to my friends, probably would have taken a couple bites or taken a couple cookies. Me controlling it was me keeping it at just what was in my home instead of going out and just getting extra stuff. And I was able to stop myself there. Stuff happens in life. You can't dwell on it. There's this one post I see pop up every now and again where it's like, you drop your phone on the floor. It's not like, oh, well, you know, my phone's broken, might as well stomp on it a million times. It's like your diet. You take one mistake, don't make it worse. Move on, get back on track, and that's it. I felt much better today, and I feel motivated today, you know, I feel good. Feel good until you have to do the thing. Then when you have to do the thing, you don't want to do it. I don't want to be like so. These are the days that I hate, obviously, but they're the days that I prove to myself whether or not I can push myself, which is one of the reasons I'm doing this, to see if I can actually push myself or if I give up and quit when it gets hard. And I'm definitely proving to myself that I can push myself, but I won't know for sure until I finish, because that's an excuse I use for was, well, you've done it before, you obviously can do it, you don't have to do it now. Like, if I was just trying to like be good, because it's like, hey, I need to like get my nutrition in track, I'll be good for like 3 days, and on the 4th day I'll like be presented with something and I'll be like, oh no thanks, and then a little later be like, see, you said no, you're able to say no, so that means you can eat it. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. So far I've been able to push forward and keep going, but I can't use that as an excuse to not do it. I can't just say, well, you've pushed forward before, you obviously can do it, so you don't have to do it now. It's not how that works. I'm hoping I don't have more days like this. I was super tired this morning. After lunch I felt fine, good amount of energy, but then when I just got to the gym, overwhelming sense of I don't want to be here right now just completely came over me, and I didn't want to work out. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do this anymore. That's how I feel right now. I felt like this before, and usually it's like I felt like for a day and the next day was fine. So that's what I'm hoping for, that we continue that pattern. Tomorrow I'll feel better, and you know, I won't feel like this tomorrow, but as of right now, just the thought of having to go home and do more stuff to prepare for tomorrow and then having to get up early, basically do it all over again, just sounds so unappealing to me, and I really just don't want to do it. But this is the time where I show my true colors and whether or not I can do it. So I have to do it, and I did it. I got through the workout. I did it. Was it one of my better workouts? No, I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't. I did as many exercises as I usually do. I only did 3 rounds of each, not 4, but I did superset a majority of them as well, then just do single exercises. I went heavy on them too. I didn't go light. So I'm proud that I did it. I'm really proud of myself that I stuck around and I did it. Am I as proud as I could have been if I like pushed myself even harder and did 4 rounds? Obviously not as proud, but I'm proud that I didn't just go home, or I didn't try to take the easy route, that I still pushed myself to my ability when I just really did not want to be there. It's like, when I'm like this, I just don't see this being something I do again. I don't see myself trying to compete again. Even when I'm in my better moods now, I just don't see it happening, because it just, a lot of people tend to like it's hard, but they like the process. And yeah, it's hard, but I don't, you know, I don't think it's something for me, and that's fine. You know, I tried it. I'm really proud that I'm trying it and I'm gonna do it, but I don't think this is something that's gonna be a repeat experience for me. As of right now, for me personally, I enjoy not having to diet and not having to be strict and not having to push myself. I do enjoy that more, and going out to eat with friends, and just, I do enjoy food more than I enjoy this. So really looking forward to getting back to normal. And the weird thing is, the closer I get right now, the further away it kind of seems. Like last week I was 6 weeks out, I'm 5 weeks out now, and I just feel like it's not like, oh, I'm getting closer. I don't feel like it's getting closer. Maybe further away isn't the best way to phrase that, but I don't feel like it's getting closer. So I'm like 6 weeks out, oh my god, that's 6 weeks. I'm like 5 weeks out, to be like, oh, it's 1 week closer. I'm just like, it's 5 weeks out. Still so long. You just gotta push yourself. We're almost there, even though it doesn't feel like it. In case you're wondering how I felt at 6 o'clock in the morning today, I'm not even gonna look at it. Quick update, I feel so much better. So I feel normal. That was just one of those low points that I talk about all the time. Shocker. I feel so much better now. I feel normal now, like I do. Just happy, and I have my energy right now. Hopefully we can stay with us for the rest of the week. What I also was thinking was I currently have a week off for a Colorado trip in October, and then I have the Friday before my competition and the Monday after my competition taken off. And with all of that time already put somewhere, I have 4 days worth of vacation time still left, and I accrue vacation time, so every paycheck I have more and more. So as of right now, I have 4 days to use. What I was thinking is not this week, but starting next week, which will make me 4 weeks out, I will start taking a half day on Fridays, and that's 4 half days, so that'll only be 2 days. So I still have 2 days of vacation just in case there's an emergency that pops up and I need to take a day off. But I will obviously accrue more, so if I need more, I will accrue it. Thinking of just the last 4 weeks, taking a half day on Friday, giving me a little more time to rest, relax, and hopefully that'll help any stress that I'm feeling, just to see if that kind of helps me feel better and gives me something to look forward to besides just the weekend in general. The hard parts are just really hard to get through, and that's all, and they're just getting harder. And I feel like as long as it's not like back to back to back to back to back, and I do get a break, kind of like this is a break from that bad day where I'm in a good mood and have energy, like it'll be manageable. But I was just so over it this morning. I really was. I gotta look at 5 weeks as like, you're almost there. You are almost done. The end of this week, 1 month. End of this week, 1 more month, and then we're all done. I literally have all of my supplements laid out, ready to go, and I already started eating my food. One of the supplements being a digestive enzyme that I need to take beforehand. I don't know why I'm so bad at this. Usually I'm not bad in the morning, but with the digestive enzyme, for some reason, I keep this literally in front of my face the whole day. Literally right there. And I'm looking at it all day. But for lunch, for my snack, I can't remember to take it before. Oh my God. Also should note, my menu changed just a little bit. I do have shrimp and basmati rice with the Bolt House avocado cilantro dressing, which is amazing. If you love cilantro, you're gonna love it. I kind of got tired of making dinner and then also having to make eggs for breakfast the next day. So instead, I just kind of switched the order of my meals around. And so I do have the shrimp and rice for breakfast, and then I still cook the eggs at night, but that's my dinner. So I'm not making dinner on top of making eggs as well. So I did add that. That's new. Everything else should be the same, I think. All right, so my refeed day is going to be a little different today. Instead of doing one kind of big meal where I get all these extra carbs, I'm actually going to be distributing it throughout the whole day. And for starters, my breakfast. Just did an hour of fasted cardio, and instead of like the 2 eggs with the egg whites, I took out the eggs because I'm going to try and lower the fat a bit, and I added a English muffin. It didn't hold the heat like it usually does, so it's a little cold, but the English muffin makes it so much better. The English muffin definitely got a bit soggy from the eggs. If you don't like your food getting soggy, you might want to separate it instead of making the sandwich first and then bringing it with you. I love bread. It's so good. Alright, now you got some weightlifting, chest, shoulders, biceps, and triceps. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye.